Okay, I was born in Zagreb, Croatia. That's the capital of Croatia. It's a small country, 4 million people.
I was born in Grand Rapids, grew up in Lansing, then moved back to Grand Rapids.
I was born and raised in Africa, in Kenya, the country where people are very good at running.
I graduated from East Grand Rapids in 1974. Then I wound up getting a job on a sailboat down in the Caribbean as a first cook.
I grew up all over the place. My dad's in the Navy since before I was born, but I moved to Michigan the summer before my senior year of high school, and I've lived here ever since.
I was an undergraduate at Calvin College here in Grand Rapids, and that's my connection to Grand Rapids because I actually grew up in Tennessee. But I was an economics and math major and went to work at the Federal Reserve Board in Washington, D.C.
I grew up in Michigan, and then I went to school at the University of Michigan for architecture. My husband and I moved out to the East Coast. I practiced out there for 7 years. It was really because of teaching that I moved back to Michigan.
I grew up in Flint, Michigan, and as I tell my students, I may look like a cupcake, but I'm a Flintstone, hardcore.
I think it's challenging in a different way, from having to explain the content rather than just understanding the content. Okay, I understand how this is, but how can I explain it maybe in 3 different ways to get it across to different people to understand the material? And so that I like that challenge of it a lot.
I was joking about how cliche this would sound as far as why I do this work or why I like this work, and but I really do enjoy being helpful. I do find it very satisfying to be helpful. As counselors and advisors, we're all providing academic advising, but also providing the personal counseling and career counseling to students who need that and are seeking that. So yeah, I think those of us in counseling here do wear a lot more hats than what might be the case at a 4-year college or university.
A good chef wants to pass on to the chefs coming along what he or she has gained from their experience. I guess it's kind of a way of making sure that we're going to be well fed in our old age when these young people are there to take care of us.
Our father used to tell us, always set your goals high. And he could say, on top here is the sun, and then followed by the moon, then the stars, then the space, then the ground, the earth. I can remember him asking me, what kind of goals are you setting? And I would say, I think I'm setting on the sun. And he would say, yes, you need to set your goals high.
I say that I'm uniquely qualified to teach in American politics because I have a distance from it. Right? You can be a fantastic political scientist, but you do not necessarily have to have passion for teaching. But I do have passion for teaching. When I'm in the classroom, I just feel this is the place where I want to be. I feel natural. It makes sense to me to be in the classroom. So.
I think one of the greatest things about the community college environment is that it's very clear what our institution is here for, that we are here for the students. And I had felt during graduate school this constant pull between my research and my teaching. And I'd love to spend time with students, but I was getting pressure from my advisors that don't spend too much time with students because your real focus here needs to be on your own work. So I wanted my own work to be helping these students learn.
Honestly, like my first day as adjunct, I love teaching here, and I wasn't teaching a dev ed course, so it's something about the school. I like being here, and I'm just lucky enough that I found developmental writing because I really enjoy that.
When I was working in publishing, I enjoyed the whole creative process. When I finished a project, it was finished, and it was usually, I could look at it and say, this is good. Whereas with teaching, you are always wondering, did I teach them well enough? And my students are, you can never put them in a box. They're just, their stories, their needs, their passions are just very stimulating and interesting and very eager to learn.
If I hear them leaving the classroom continuing to talk about what we were talking about in class that day, then I think I got them. and I can be assured that they're going to continue having those conversations. I think if I don't link my course content to their story, then it's not going to stay with them for very long. Right? So they can learn some graphs and they can get this abstract theory, but they've got to understand its connection to their story, which is easy to do with a diversity of stories here, so it's a fun challenge.
Each class is so different in its composition and how the students interact with one another. I think that for me it's just the flexibility of being comfortable with not walking into the classroom knowing it's going to be exactly the same every time I teach it.
On the one hand, it's a great challenge for me as a teacher to basically keep the diverse class together on the same page in terms of the level of material they need to learn. And on the other hand, they made me think about their views about politics and life that they basically bring from their life experiences that I never thought about before.
I enjoy watching students acquire knowledge. I enjoy watching them when they have learned a new task and they can do it themselves. The students have opportunities to create dishes, offer them to the public, and get instant feedback from the guests. And I find that really lifts them up to know that they've created something that made someone smile that day. So it's kind of like the instant gratification that the students get in seeing their work appreciated.
Most of the students with whom I work are Academic Foundations Program students. So a lot of them are coming in without the reading or the writing or the math skills that we would hope students would enter college with. But we're giving them an opportunity to advance those skills to get to the college level.
Whatever they were doing before, whether it be a job or high school or at home taking care of their kids, they obviously are coming here because they need some sort of change. And so where else would they be able to get that? I mean, it's a community college, so it should be for the community. And if the entire community isn't ready, then it's up to us to help them get ready.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my school. This is where I like working. I love this place. When I'm coming to work in the morning, I'm very excited. When I'm going home, I'm excited because I know whenever I help a student, that student will help another student. I have an impact in one student, but at the back of my mind, I know is so many students who have been impacted by my skills.